Hey guys, we're here in Harlingen right now, heading to McAllen. Gonna meet up with Professor Brenda, Professor Alex, go grab some lunch, and then go train tonight. And tomorrow we have a seminar scheduled at 11 a.m. at ENZO Jiu Jitsu, Coach Greg and I. So we're looking forward to that. Excited to be here. It's hot, but it is what it is. Hey guys, Gabe here, about to start this seminar here at ENZO Jiu Jitsu in McAllen, Texas. Glad everybody's here, very, very thankful for Professor Brenda. We got Armando here, former base guy. He's here, now he's in San Antonio. Looking forward to this, having some fun, learning, teaching, and rolling.
So excited to have Gabe and Greg here at ENZO again.
Feels great. Feels great just having y'all here, just seeing the support of other team lead members. It's awesome. It's great.
Get started. Let's go ahead and welcome Professor Gabe and his son Greg.
All right, guys. So first of all, I just want to say thank you on my behalf and Greg's. We're from Lubbock. In case anybody didn't know, we're from Lubbock. Way far from here. So we also have one of my former students, which I think he'll come back eventually, Armando. He traveled from San Antonio. He moved to San Antonio from Lubbock, and so if you hear me saying something kind of sarcastic, it's directed towards him and maybe Freddie and Raven. So no, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 4 techniques. I'm gonna do 2. Greg's gonna do 2 as well. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I mean, there's no pressure, there's no anything other than just relax, have fun, learn, and then we'll do some rounds after the fact. And that's it, you know. Just excited to be here. Thank you guys very much for being here, supporting, and I really enjoy being at this school. So it reminds me of ours back home. So we'll just go ahead and bow in and get started. Hands to your side. Sit. All right, you guys gather around. You need to warm up for about 3 minutes, right, Brenda? You guys need to loosen up for about 3 minutes. We can do that. In gi and no gi, especially in no gi, the reason I like it is because it sets you up for different positions. Plus, it hides your feet from the foot locks and stuff. So what they intend to do is, if they're heavy on their hips, it's really hard to sweep somebody. If their hips are sitting down. The goal for butterfly is to keep their hips off, right, off their heels and elevated. So sometimes, a lot of times, most of my sweeps come from a single butterfly, or what I like to call single. So that means you have to shift your hip out one way or the other, okay? So if I'm going this direction, right, when you're in a butterfly sitting down, make sure one of your foot is inside. And the other one, if you're sweeping that direction, you're isolating a sleeve, okay? So that way we can start the sweeps. So for me to sweep, I've got to tuck his sleeve underneath, in between, and make him shoulder roll. Then as we're elevating, okay, that's when our hook comes in. You don't want to keep it here and it's getting really tired and you're kind of off balance. So when you're sitting, your foot's just going to be on the mat. Okay, so what happens a lot of times is this guy will post this leg up because that's his post foot, especially if I have this grip. He knows that I want to sweep that way. They'll post this leg up, okay, and that stops the sweep, okay? So what we want to do, if we see that foot posted up that position, we're going to switch the butterfly. So I either grab the pant or the ankle. Okay, I like the pant because it gives me a better pull. Then we're gonna slide underneath him. So for now, what I want you guys to do is you're gonna be here. Depending on the direction that you're facing, your partner's gonna post on the opposite side, okay? So we go here. When we're getting underneath him, this foot slides down, and at the same time, this one shifts. We just switch it to there, okay? So we go there to there, and then we push. And we want this shin hinged, okay? With really the lower part of my ankle hinged on the back of his knee. So sometimes people tend to want to go here. That's an easy turn for his knee, and there goes the knee cut, okay? So we want to make his foot hinged just like this. That way we have a bunch of leverage. If we want to sweep this way, we got to hook this arm. We can go all the way underneath this, transition to X guard. So we want it hinged on the back of the knee. Okay, so again, and then we'll start moving into a sweep from there. So if I'm here, we're gonna have our underhook across. We hook the belt, okay? We grab the sleeve, and then he posts that leg up. As soon as he posts that leg up, we have to recognize, grab that pant, switch, pull, and then we're on our back, okay? As we're going into our back, we have to underhook here. We have to underhook here and have this hamstring on our shoulder. We don't want it on our bicep because then it gets really heavy, okay? And then the sweep gets a little harder from here. So we want to really scoop up all the way to where his hamstring is on our shoulder. The inner thigh is on my ear. And then from here you can grab the belt, you can go for the lapel, okay? But we want some sort of grip on the top side. I like to hold the leg, personally. I personally like to hold the leg or the belt if it's available, okay? So again, so as we're going underneath, we lay the lapel and tie our hand underneath. So we're here, we have this position, okay? Sleeve, he recognizes it. Switch, okay? And then we keep this foot hovering over the mat. Even if he puts it on the floor, you can still lift your shin up, your leg. And then now his waist is distributed to the other direction, okay? Anybody have any questions on that? Okay, let me throw it one more time, then we'll get started. We just want the transition, we'll work into the sweep here in a second. Okay, so again, we're underhooked on the belt, sleeve control, he post, grip the pant, switch, and you guys just stop from here, because we're going to sweep in a second. Good we go? All right, let's work on this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Here, all right, and then we're about to start sweeping, and Greg posts, we grab, but use this knee to scoop that. Okay, just use that knee that's flat and scoop him all the way underneath. Okay, so now that we're underneath, let's work the sweep. All right, it's almost like a waiter sweep, because the waiter sweep we go over triangle. Okay, now I'm not even triangling my legs. So what I want to do is I want to lift this and sweep it just the exact same way, okay? I keep the belt, lapel, and what I want to do is I don't want to sweep this way. If you compete, perfect, it's fine. But in here, let's do it straight that way for his knees, okay, to save his knee. So what I want to do is I want to use this as like a pendulum, and as I'm sitting up for the sweep, I curl it back this way. okay? And you're gonna end up on your right side if you're on this side, or your left side if you're going the other direction. So I go here, and I stretch my shin to there, okay? Now I'm on my right side. I don't let this go, because this is a scramble foot. If I let this go, he starts to scramble and he gets back on top, okay? So here, okay, I extend this shin. I just put this foot straight to the mat. Okay, you have two options from here. You can go up that way to the staple and start to pass. Over here, and he's, for whatever reason, he's blocking my chest. He's there. Transition to the leg. I go here. Now we have the leg, and then we start passing. I would go backside. Okay. But usually what happens is people go up, and that momentum will bring you up. Over here, okay. He posts. We have a sleeve, transition. I'm almost facing that direction. Not quite, but my body, my right shoulder's off the mat just a little bit. Okay. I scoop. If his foot is flat on the mat, like I said, just lift it, and there it is. Okay. I can rock, extend my shin, then I curl this foot. I can leg drag or grab his lapel, bring myself up, and I keep this staple for the fact that if I let it go, he closes his half guard. Now we have to start passing the half guard, as opposed to here, if he tries to close, it doesn't really matter. Right. Anybody have any questions? So again, here, okay. He posts his right leg. I grab his pant. You can grab his ankle. Okay, if you're no gi, grabbing the ankle, it works the same way. We go, we shoot, and if I'm stuck here, use this knee to bring his body to me. Okay, I scoop. I can grab his sleeve if I want. You don't have to. Grab his thigh, his belt, his lapel, and then I curl it back. Okay, lapel up. And I keep this under the. That way, he doesn't start closing his half guard. You can keep your shoulder high. Okay. Make sure on that pass we drop our hip. Okay. I had a guy back home and I was telling him, drop your hip, drop your hip. He was dropping his knees. Just drop your hip, dude. He kept dropping his knees. I was like, hey, you got 3 kids, man. Like, how do you not know how to drop your hip? I don't remember. You remember that guy? So we're here, okay? He scoops, go from the sleeve to the pant, switch, to, okay? This one, you want to bring his foot like to your ear, okay? Well, I prefer this grip. It just feels a whole lot better, a little stronger, okay, than the pant, okay? Because now he can start extending, like flexing out, okay, or just flexing his leg out backwards. So here, it's like the waiter sweep. We go back to there, okay? Up, grab lapel, staple, shoulder pressure, into the pass. Everybody got it? When you see it again? We good? All right, let's work on this. On 2. Ready? 1, 2. It's the same entry. Nothing changes. Okay, he posts up. We scoop to there. Okay. So once we're here, make sure his foot is hovering. Okay, it's not on the mat. Because then, I mean, you can. If it's on the mat, you just lift it. All right. So what we want to do is we want to bring the top of his foot to this hip over here. So that means I lift. I flatten this one out, okay, and I catch his top of his foot with my thigh, and then I bring his foot to my hip, then I triangle my feet or my legs, okay? And then from here, I still have this grip on his belt, his leg. We just connect our hands on the hip, okay? We pull down and then we shoot our shin straight up. And it turns into a muscle lock, okay? So this is really important that we have this hinge, because if it's down here, it won't work. You gotta have it hinged to where his foot does this all the way across to your hip, okay? So again, there, he puts that foot on the mat. To this, okay? I've already had, now we don't have to worry about doing any of this, okay? I lift, I push his foot across to there. Okay, I catch it with my hip, triangle, connect, boom. And then we get the lock. Anybody have any questions? We go here, we post, hand, to there, okay? We lift his leg up, make sure this one is flat. So I see some people want to do this. Well, the foot's out, okay? So we just throw it in between to there. Okay, and from here we just take our time. I would go over the hip first, then connect on top to there, okay? And he'll potentially, he could probably step over. You can still finish as he steps over, right there.
Are you making your legs tight and pushing at the same time?
Yes, I'm going here and I'm shooting this shin up and I'm pulling him down. I'm shooting, it's like an arm bar motion.
Okay.
Again, here, pose. So there, okay. I make sure we secure this first. I lift, flat, and I use my own leg to drive his foot to my hip. Okay, then that gives me the space to lock that triangle. I connect, pull down, and then I shoot my hips up to the ceiling. Everybody got it? All right, let's go run the box. Pull down and shoot your hips up to the, yes. Dude.
I saw you put her foot in your pocket. I was like, let me try that. And then that's
me just turn this way. Yeah. And even when I turned it that way, you still turned it back. Oh my gosh. This is what you have to deal with on a daily basis.
Now, from here, a lot of times what happens, especially when you're going against someone who plays butterfly, what a lot of people tend to do is they think they want to pressure their weight forward, but that's exactly what he wants. He wants to make my lower body light. So the more I pressure forward, the more he's going to elevate my hips up and get me off balance. So from here, I'm going to set my hips down right here to my heels. Okay, he's already have his underhook, okay? So that's the side I'm going to pass on. So what I'm going to do is my arm is going to reach across his back and I'm gonna look for his armpit, okay? So I grab that loose material right here on his armpit, and then from here I'm gonna control the inside of his knee. So I grab right here on his pant, and then what I do is I open my hips up, because from here he has his hook, so I wanna open my hips wide. So I step this leg up, okay, but I step it wide. Because if I bring it here, then that's where the underhook is gonna come into play, and then he works his transitions. So I step this leg back wide, where my hips are opened up, and now the hook's not as strong. So now all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull across his back and then push his knee. So I just do a big steering wheel motion with his body. So from here, I pull, and then I push. Okay, it's a really fluid movement. So It's not a whole lot of steps. But this, the grip behind his back, that's what sits him up, because if I push him back, he's gonna go flat on his back and then the spin won't be as strong. So from here, he has an underhook. I go across his back and then I connect right here on his armpit. My hand's gonna go inside his knee. I open my hips wide because I want to kill this hook. And again, all I do is I pull across his back and I just turn him. And then I make him spin on the tailbone of his butt. So here. So again, it's not a whole lot of steps with the turn. Just really opening your hips up to kill the hook off and then keeping his back set it up, okay? All I'm doing is lifting up his leg and then I go for the spin, okay? So I'm here, he has his underhook, okay? So now I go across his back, okay? So make it a point to where you get your middle finger and then here you pull it across his back. I open my hips up and then I pull across his back and then I push his knee, okay? And again, making sure this foot steps all the way back. So here, I open, I pull, and then I turn. Okay, so just one more time, full speed. You guys got any questions?
You're hooking his head down with your chin, right?
Yeah. Yes. And besides, he's gonna have his head lower than my chin anyway.
Yeah, because I want to be low, below his head, in butterfly, especially when I'm sitting.
Okay. This arm, that's just to prevent him from sitting back. So if I feel him kind of pull back, I'll just pull this just to keep his head down at his posture level. Okay. So again, once I'm here, this hand goes inside the knee. Okay. I open and I just spin him. Okay, to where his body's like a top. Everybody go fast. So here. Okay, I open, and I just, everybody got it? Okay, so work on this for a few minutes and then I'll show a reaction to where I start passing from here. Okay, on to you guys, ready, 1, 2. Their reaction, okay? So a lot of times, you know, when you're going for a pass, people tend to turn away from you and go to turtle because they don't want their guard pass, okay? Because a lot of times you cut the angle off to where they can't turn into you, so now their only last ditch effort is to turn away from you. So we're gonna be here, the same pass, nothing's gonna change. I open, I turn. Okay, now he's gonna turn away from me. All I'm gonna do is just follow him. Right here, I'm hip to hip with this arm draped over his back. Now, this hand, okay, so it's like I'm gonna set up a clock choke, okay? This hand is just gonna go over his shoulder and I'm gonna feed my hand inside his lapel, okay? So I have this choke already set. So now, with this, okay, so real quick, when you're working this choke, just have fun with it, okay? Even if you don't get it, it's fine, okay? It's just something neat to show. So all I'm gonna do, okay, I'm gonna show it full speed first.
Yeah.
Okay. So from here, I'm gonna set it up just to see what you guys are gonna start learning, okay? So from here, I'm just gonna posture myself up. I'm gonna go for the choke. I'll explain the choke first. Okay, so and it catches on quick. Okay, it catches on quick. So again, my choking arm is gonna go over his shoulder right here on the same side, and then I'm just gonna feed my hand inside his lapel. Okay, so my near side leg, the one that's closest to his body, that's the leg that's gonna come up and go around his head. I use this hand on his back to push myself up, and plus it keeps his posture broken. So once I'm here, I push myself up, this leg comes around, and I swing it around his head. Okay, it's gonna feel weird because this arm is underneath this leg, okay, but I promise it's gonna get tight. And plus, have the grip already set, because what ends up happening a lot is people will leave a lot of slack right here, and then once they actually dive, the leg breaks the grip, okay? So make sure this grip is already set, okay? So get the grip tight first. So once I'm here, I swing around. Once that foot plants, now my arm's gonna dive for this little gap right here between his thigh and his tricep. Okay, I don't grab anything from here. I just bring my hand underneath right here. Because what that's doing is it prevents him from turning into me. Okay, if I miss that, he'll turn this way to the choke, and then I lose it. So I'm here. I swing around. Okay, once I have that set, this arm dives into that little hole, and then from here I just fall. Okay, and then from here I have the choke, and then that's what that hand does too. If I miss this, slide this behind his head, and then I'll finish the choke. So from here, and it's really pulling the trigger that's the hard part. All you gotta do is once that leg is swinged over, just dive over the shoulder. Don't hook the arm, okay? The arm's gonna hook as you dive the arm. Okay, so from here, hand over the shoulder, and right away, cinch down on that grip. This hand goes to his back, swing around his head. Once the foot plants, this arm hooks right here, and then I just dive over the shoulder, okay? Here, I dive, and to help yourself with the dive, what I do sometimes is I lean towards this leg, and then I use that as a load, okay? So I use it as a push off. Here, and then I get the submission. One more time. You guys got any questions?
Would you be able to go the other way if you got the other way?
This way?
Yeah.
No, because
Once he turns that way, the choke is gone.
So here, over the shoulder, okay? And plus the higher this is, the better, okay? I just have a little slack on it just for his sake. So from here, I get this grip first, okay? My hand goes on his back. I swing my near side leg around, and then from here. And from here, I basically just sit on him. And then from here, this arm dives underneath, and then I just take a dive from the side. So I'm here, and then I'll get the choke. You guys have any questions? So, and again, we're going off the reaction. So, the same pass, I'm here, I turn him. I turn him, he turtles up, okay? Immediately I'm looking for this. I post on his back, spin. Wait, I see what you did wrong.
Yeah,
Or-
a step over. Cut that out.